Recorded live from Random Secret Studios in Philadelphia and throughout the Delaware Valley.
I'm the Capo. He is the Prez.
And this is Sons of Ben, the pod. Gents, welcome back to Sons of Ben, the pod. This is a controversial episode because I'm calling it episode number 36, the Robin Roberts Philadelphia Hall of Fame Pitcher Edition. And Adam's got things to say about it.
Okay, first off, I love me some Robin Roberts. Don't get me wrong. No disrespect to the all-time Hall of Famer. But I think he trends a little bit older than your average listener of this crowd would like to say. On top of that, he's not even the most famous person named Robin Roberts. Let's just start with that. Third, and I want to stress this, it's also the number of Brian Westbrook. You know, Philadelphia Eagles legend, and maybe not quite a Hall of Famer, but a All-Pro, a gentleman who set records and who is in the hearts of many. But even more importantly, and I think Devin will agree with me when I bring this up, it was the number of one Bobby Clarke for one game, one night in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So I'm just gonna say, it might be Bobby Clarke episode. It might be the Bobby Clarke episode.
Well, Devin's going to agree with that because he's still trying to Google who Brian Westbrook is because he doesn't know who he was because that was before his time.
All right. Apparently, Devin's 12, and I apologize.
Devin, no. Brian Westbrook was Shady McCoy before there was a Shady McCoy. To give you an idea how old he is, he went to college with Jim Curtin. Just to bring this all back to the soccer.
I'm glad we've clarified all this. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So obviously, this week's guest is not Robin Roberts or Brian Westbrook. It's just the three of us. We just wanted to go over. We got some stuff going on. I mean, we had a game. We got games coming up. We got a lot of stuff, and we may have some news for next week, and we'll leak that out throughout the socials as it works out. But we might be doing a co-pod with some guys that like to put chili on top of spaghetti. That's disgusting. Anyhow, speaking of good, Beer the Pod, Yards, 2SP, and the Larimer. Don't forget them. Go get them. You need it in the pandemic. I know I've got a 2SP. Oh, man, I forget what it is now. What do you got?
Wait, should we actually have a beer of a pod next time? Like, we all actually have the same beer? Because we haven't had, we've had a beers of the pod for maybe 17 episodes now. And I feel like we should actually just all come together and get a case of Pony Boy. We've seen each other as a group, so we could do this. We can distribute a 6-pack amongst the three of us.
Well, we can coordinate that. I think we can make that happen. Now, speaking of beer, I do have a little bit of news. In the NAC tonight, tomorrow, you're going to see the beer naming contest. And because of tight time frames that us and 2SP didn't know, we are asking you to email Kirsten Morris at sonsofben.com your suggestion by Sunday, because the board's going to vote on it on Monday because they need the name and the artwork. Details are spelled out in the NAC, but give you an idea. You can't talk about how strong a beer is when you name it, so it can't be super sexy, strong Saison. You can't reference anything towards kids, like marketing, so you can't be hey, this is Fang Juice. And then you can't rip off another beer's trademark. So you can't go Mad Elf Duping Ale because that's an established beer. Yep, go ahead.
Questions. Hold on. Obviously, we're going back to the Fang conversation because this is important. So, what mascot can I actually have a beer named after? Because it's the kid thing, right? You can't name it Fang Juice because it's after Fang, but could I make it Gritty Juice and make it a beer? Is that gearing towards children?
Gritty Tears and Fanatic Farts would all be geared towards kids,
Fanatic Farts?
Probably. I don't think I would drink that beer.
We'll get back to this another time. I have questions.
Yeah. I now understand why there's so many crazy beer names because of these parameters. The other day I was at the distributor and I saw a beer called literally just Chicken Nuggets was the name of the beer.
Oh my god!
I'm very confused.
I now go to
you probably
beer
bought
stores.
It just for it. I mean, listen, Evil Genius. Those guys have made their whole brewery based on weird names, like I don't even know what Stacy's Mom beer is, but I'm like, I'll take a Stacy's Mom. Like
It's
it's
obviously based off of the Fountain and Wayne song. Stacy's Mom has got it going on.
I get that, but I don't know what style it is. It just says Stacy's
Oh, it's
Mom.
a saison. Isn't that a saison?
I don't know.
If that was that'd be smart marketing. If it's not a saison, if it's not a Stacy's Mom saison, come on now.
So, cleaning up the news, we do want to wish a happy belated birthday to a friend of the pod, Raj Bennett, who might have jinxed us when he emailed me, said that Everton and the Union were going to win their respective leagues. So, if he's right, give him credit. If he's not, I'll share his email address on the public area race. No, I won't. But anyhow, happy belated birthday, Raj. Can't wait to get you on. And then we got some viewing parties on Sunday, Adam. Because we got a game. Sunday? Well, we're gonna play the Canadian energy drinks, but we'll get into that. We got that. That's down further. So we've got viewing parties for Sunday, but even before that, and I think Adam, you're going. Is Devin going to the Sons of Quarantine meet the pandemic crew at Citizens Bank Park on Saturday evening?
You need to make it sound less creepy. That's basically the answer.
Hey, y'all want to watch baseball from a peep fence?
First off, now you're making it even worse. Yeah, we all know what this is. We've just agreed to do it as a unit. No, a bunch of us are supposed to go down. The Sons of Quarantine, as we've now named ourselves, which is something I need a T-shirt of ASAP, but have merged with the Pandemic crew. And the Pandemic crew, I think when there was a couple of representatives at the game that we watched over the weekend, and I think because they saw we were going to do this anyway, but I think because they saw such a thriller of a game from outside the doors that they'll be back. They'll be back to enjoy this. But yeah, we're going to head down. They got to see somebody
bust one of our drums. They probably think we're like breaking guitars and other crap,
We had busted drums. People were actively eating shit on the pavement, celebrating. The way that you try to watch a bunch of grown men try to celebrate a 95th minute goal and not anyone get hurt is really astonishing. Like when you're in seats, it's easier because then you have a small radius of celebratory area. But when you have a whole platform, people start running in directions. They take off like fireworks and then people get hurt.
Editor's note, this was all done socially distanced with masks, just so the Philadelphia and Pennsylvania health departments listening. We were so safe. It was like hazmat suits.
Jarrett literally wrote down X's on the sidewalk, which I think I don't know if he brought out a tape measure, but they looked virtually 6 feet apart. So we're going to go with that. I think he did have a tape measure.
Yeah, we set that up. So this Saturday, 6:05 is the first pitch. They meet outside Ashburn Alley. If you park on 10th Street, it's free parking. So just letting you know, we're going to be out there watching the Phillies, banging the drum. Devin, I got two things and then you get to shine. I've got Drunken Union Zoom meeting this Friday. So if you got any questions about the Pandemic crew in the Saturday game, hop on that. Look at their Twitter page and you get an invite and they'll have more details. And then apparently we were talking, hey, happy Hispanic Heritage Month from September 14th to October 15th, I believe it is. But to all our Latinx Hispanic members, happy Heritage Month, and maybe we'll get Johnny on to explain why it's middle of one month, middle to the other month.
It's because they're so badass. They thought that 1 month could not hold them. They were like, no. It's actually one of my favorite, to be a slight off-topic joke about just the fact that it's split into half months. On one of my shows I used to watch listen to was the Dan Le Batard show on ESPN, and one of his co-hosts, Greg Cody, comes on, and he was just like, I thought Black History Month was separated into 2 months, and he was just like, I'm pretty sure it's half and half, and everyone's like, no, it's just February. It's like, no. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's half and half, and I was just like, and then he realizes he's wrong, but I'm like, you just got it confused with Hispanic Heritage Month, is what I'm yelling through the radio. It's like, it's okay, you're in Miami, it's okay, we get it. Your heart was in the right place, but no.
You tried.
Exactly. It is one of the best, but I'm just always just like, but you were close.
Now, Devin, this is your 30 seconds to shine.
All right, here we go.
What's going on in that beautiful Discord action,
I'm gonna use my fine print voice here and talk at it like 5 times speed. Now, I usually shout out all the winners of the prediction challenge there. With our thriller this week, we had 5 people guess the correct score of the game and correct result, which is unheard of over there. So we had Michael Borton, we had Evan C., we had Dane Truxell, we had his username is Aronson Gunn Did It Again, and we also had Kyle the Baby, and we had Eric Azeltine.
Now, I want to know the Aronson. Which Aronson done it again?
I don't know. You gotta ask them. So I think it was actually 6 people got all the correct score, correct result. So get on over there, get in there, get your predictions in for Saturday.
Do you win anything?
Of course you win something. You win your choice of Union gear. There you go. That's your choice.
Yes.
It's
maybe I should get on the
here.
predictions, man. I'm here for this. What?
I know. I just saw the. We'll get into that. There's a prediction app on the Chelsea app. I might have to get on that because I would have won that if I got on early.
Oh no!
Speaking of predictions, Adam got 7 out of 8 for the Premier League last week. On our little our Premier League prediction there.
Your boy just he knows his footy. He knows his footy. What did I get wrong? What was the one I got wrong?
I will find.
Probably went for Tottenham.
I probably did. I actually think that might have been the move. I actually might have predicted a Tottenham W there. And
all right,
I was drastically disappointed. But no, but look, man, I love this because like now we're all in fantasy seasons and everyone's fantasy seasons are colliding at once. Like anyone who started the little fantasy baseball and now their football just started and now they're just like basketball is about to come back around the corner in a month and a half. Which also, anyone think about that? That like supposedly all these sports are just gonna start up again in November and do this shit again. Like nothing happened.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, European soccer that comes down to the dollar. Of course, that's going to happen. I mean,
that
like,
is insane. What they
NBA,
did was insane.
I heard the NBA is just trying to push it so the first game is Christmas.
So there is, and I know I'm digressing right now. There is a dream I have where we rearrange all of the scheduling for most of these sports, and the NBA starts on Christmas Day. Doesn't have like its weird like 2-month period moment on Christmas Day. Like it starts Christmas Day.
Can hockey do the same thing too? Because I hate October hockey.
No, hockey starts on Halloween. No, hockey starts on Halloween. Yeah, no, and that's okay because Canada. Because it's their sport, and their headquarters is in Toronto, and because it gets colder up there sooner, I'll let Canada have Halloween.
That's insensitive to Tampa and Miami.
It is, and
Arizona and Anaheim.
Combined of all of those teams you just mentioned, there's maybe 2 cups. So I don't really, they're yeah. But no, but ultimately, even though Tampa Bay might actually just go to the Stanley Cup Finals this year again. Anyway. Regardless, I think you have Thanksgiving for football. That's just their staple. Don't have the NBA the day before and the day after. That's weird. Move the. And first off, the NBA don't need 82 games. I know that's for money, but we can knock that thing down to like 60. Start that thing on Christmas, and we good to go, honey. We get less injuries. We get fresher players towards playoff time. That's what I want. I don't need no Ben Simmons shattered dinner plate kneecaps on my playoff runs.
Just so people understand, right now Devin is holding up a sign like in Love Actually saying this is a Union Soccer podcast. Just so you all know behind the scenes what's going on.
Look, we're gonna talk enough about us beating the Revolution. I'm just filibustering for Devin to tell me what game I lost.
Yes, before we move on, let me clear Adam's name because he did pick Everton to beat Tottenham.
I did.
He wrongly predicted
Who'd you lose?
Sheffield United to beat Wolverhampton.
I did pick. I picked the Blades to beat the Wolves, and I was wrong. But I did pick Everton to beat Tottenham because I have no faith in your club. None.
Go watch All or Nothing, and then tell me that, okay?
I still won't. I watched the Browns have a hard knocks. Sometimes you can flesh up a turd, my friend. It's very easy.
Now back to the U. Saturday we had a little bit of a game. Apparently, the New England Revolution came in And Bruce brought his best. I'll let Adam, you go first, and then Devin, and then we'll talk about this Jesus heart attack game that we
Okay,
had.
first off, Lee Nguyen, what the hell? All right, what
How the hell was he
is that?
playing?
Look, man, I want to know because here's the thing. I'm sure there's actually something he did that was legal, because I would really hope that the MLS was not allowing New England to bring in a dude and threatening all of what they started with all of these particular bubbles, because the man drove through states. He didn't fly. He drove.
He came
through
from the
states.
central of COVID, for God's sakes.
And also, why are you driving like 30 hours? That's a day's worth of, anyway. The moral of the story. I'm really happy that these goals interrupted my drinking, because basically I spent 60 minutes just drinking because everything was boring as hell. Like, the Union were dominating and doing nothing with like the last 7 inches of the, man, that miss by Shabilko was just like, bruh. Bruh. Like, that is the, any person with any form of finishing boot says, gentle tap-ins for 500, Alex. And then Shabilko is like, nope, let me chip it over the freaking half wall. That's what
I
I'm
almost
gonna do.
took away his unborn son's scholarship to the academy because of that. I was like, yeah,
Look, man.
nope.
Also, Shabilko, why are you having a gender reveal party right now? Read the room. Read the room. Just literally hold up an ultrasound and be like, yep, it's a boy. Like, that's
Listen,
it. Why are we having...
That is never a guy's fault. A gender reveal party is never a guy's. That is like, guess what you're doing today? And you're like,
I hope they banned.
okay.
I hope California bans gender reveal parties from now and forever. I hope there's never another gender reveal party.
Don't
Golden
you step
Bear
on our
State.
individual rights, Adam. Don't you be stepping on the rights.
I'm here for it. These people can't protect themselves and burning half a state down.
This country was founded on stupidity. Come on.
You can't even begin to subscribe it. Anyway, but no, legitimately, he's like, this is why when the Union are out there saying they're going to go get like an Argentinian center back to replace McKenzie, obviously when they sell him and whatever, and Fontana looks like, if he's not going to be the dude moving forward, he could be a very nice placeholder number 10 as we try to figure out our next step after Aronson gets sold. But it's like, look, and I've been watching Corey Burke's Instagram stories, and the dude's cut like a diamond. And when he comes back, he looks like he's going to be, if and when, because I love that if and when he comes back, he looks like he's in the best shape of his GD life. So I'm excited about that. But I need a finisher, man. I just need a prolific finisher, because if we had that, there is no team in MLS that could beat the Union.
I know, and I keep saying it. I thought it was Wooten, and now I'm like, maybe not. I don't think Wooten and Casper can play together, and that's what you're stuck with. Where, like, for us, it's like, I'd love to see Wooten go in for Casper, but with Santos out, you're like, shit. Like we need another burner, like a Santos.
You don't have any. You have nines. You have a bunch of nines. You have no, like, Santos is your speed demon. You had a David Accam once, but you already traded him away. Like, I'm like, look,
and Burke really isn't a speed. He's a hold up.
He has a little bit of speed, but he's 100% a hold up guy. And it's just like, look, and when you had a Pakal on your wing, when you had an Accam on your wing, when you had speed demons on your wing, then having a good hold 9 is okay.
But we don't play with wings.
No, and the two people who would be the presumed wings, all respect to both Jamiro and Alejandro, are nothing close to speed demons. So
they run marathons, but they're not sprinting.
So you're going to have some form of speed. You know, I know we just used the word 20 times in 2 sentences, but like, you need quickness, you need agility, you need a thesaurus to give me another word for speed.
I just want someone to run the defenders, private parts into the ground. So then when Nelsinho shows up at the 66th minute, those guys are so exhausted that they just fall over because he's making their legs in a spaghetti. That's all I want. Is it too much?
But this comes to Adam's random thought that was off script today. What if you start Fontana at the 9? Like, Like, what if
I
you
don't
just
know. I'm
put
not
it?
a
What if
big
you put him
fan
up
of.
top?
See, I keep going. Where's Miggy? Where's Miggy?
Yeah, I would actually like to see Mitch. I'd
I'd
like
like
to
to
see Mitchy.
Yeah.
I'm curious why he hasn't got off the bench. I see Mbaizo's getting his minutes, and then he got replaced. And like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't deny Matt Real either, pretty much at this point.
No.
Like if Wagner is not going to be here for an extended period of time, I love what Mbaizo is doing, but you cannot deny what Matt Real has been putting into the game. And like, if we're going to take advantage of these 5 subs and do these super sub things and bring in Matt Real off the bench to just be a weird defensive stalwart / upfield guy, that's fine. But I mean, this is a great issue to have, but like, you got 4 backs right now.
Well,
like 4
and
backs.
We'll talk about it when we get into the upcoming game, but thank God we have it because the injury bug is hitting and we've got a very depleted bench. So we might see some of these guys, and knock on wood, it's worked out. So thank God for the depth that we have. Devin, what did you think of the New England game?
So here's my voice of reason for the New England game. If Fontana does not score that last-minute goal, we have a totally different outlook on this game because I was personally worried that we were playing against a 10-man New England Revolution team and struggling. Like, they almost scored with 10 men and almost won the game when they were playing with 10 men for about 40 minutes. Well, no, 30 minutes. I'll give them 30 minutes.
Man, but that's the Union though. The Union have done that. That's not even a weird thing for us to lose to a 10-man team before.
Lately.
No, not lately, but it's just like what you're saying is true, but at the same time I'm just like, ugh.
You're right. I was the first half I was like, what the hell is going on? Not happy a little bit. And I'll be honest, I didn't watch the game as closely as I would have liked to because I was at the Larimer. Katie Fellinger was doing her book signing. There were people all around, but in the 80th minute on, it was nothing but glued to the TV, and you're like, "What the is going on here?" So, you're right. If Tony Montana doesn't bury that in the back of the net, we're sitting there going, "Bruce Arena screwed us again."
I mean, look, I think that it would have been a frustrating loss because especially since you're winning, especially since you were up to 10 men, or you were up on their 10-man squad, and for the most part, you had more of the opportunities for the game. You should have made a lot more of a couple sitters that you let go. Which I try to be more calm about most of this crap, but it's just like, I think the loss would have been, or I think the tie would have been bothersome, but I think weirdly, you almost take that as a motivation to just like get your crap back together, because I feel like the Union don't want to smell themselves, because what's happening right now in the East, what is happening right now in MLS for Union fans is unprecedented, because not only does their team look good, but it looks like they can get themselves some separation from the rest of the Eastern Conference in a serious way if they play anywhere close to their consistency. Now, granted, we're benefiting from the fact that everyone in the region right now sucks, are just absolute garbage right now in the Northeast.
To quote Devin's favorite manager, they need to be not good guys. They need to be, bastards on the field. Like they need to take advantage. I mean, they've got games that they should win, these upcoming games, which we'll talk about soon, that they need to win, and there shouldn't be any excuse. I don't want to hear Bruce came up with a great game plan because he's finally on the sideline. I want to be like, no, New England, you suck, and we're going to torch you, and it should have been 2-1 in the 70th minute, and we could have all been sitting back having a good time, but you know what?
No,
I'll still take it. That goal was.
I'm actually happier.
That goal was beautiful, and it goes into lore. Well, now you're happier.
No, but I'm happier.
During the game, you're not happy.
No, I'm happier. Yeah. No. I hate the game. I hate games. Did I ever tell you I hate union matches themselves? No,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they just put my anxiety on a freaking tilter. So I'm saying, like, if the union were up in the 70th minute and I had to wait for 20 minutes for the whistle, no, that would have made my anxiety go through the roof. If anything, I was much happier it happens at the death, because after they score, the game's over. There's nothing that can be done after that. It's like, we're good. It's like a walk-off,
Well,
you know?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who else was happy about that last second goal. Devin, you saw this right on the media Zoom. You were in on that.
Yeah, I saw this one.
So yeah, apparently our friend JT asked, "Hey Jim, we saw you yell in the direction of Bruce Arena after Fontana hit that last goal. Can you share with us what you said?" And I think Jim was like, "Yeah, sure, JT. I simply told Bruce, hey Bruce, that's a happy ending, not that weird shit you and your owner are into." So yeah, I think Jim was pretty happy about that win.
You realize this is why we don't get monetized, right? Like, if
I don't
we
know. I
ever
think
wanted-
somewhere there's a strip mall massage parlor that wants to pay us.
that, I mean, yeah, and I'm
I
sure
am-
they pay.
I'm,
they
I
pay
am
bucks.
very confused right now. But
So
I am-
basically, Matt went back down to the well of their owner likes to get
No,
themselves.
no. I got that part. I'm wondering why this massage parlor is paying us. That is.
Because Adam says
That's a
I keep
good
using
question.
this joke, which has got legs,
It does.
and he says we're never going to get a sponsor because of these jokes. And I think one of those fine establishments will happily pay us.
Yeah, no. Valley
We
Forge
need sponsors
Video.
apparently.
Man, I look, man. A little cash flow. Maybe we can get some new mics for you over there. Hey, we can talk about it.
All right. Well, if you want to talk cash flow, we are undefeated at Subaru Park. So Subaru. You happy about that? Like maybe they'll, and they should they right now buy the naming rights to every other arena in the city of Philadelphia so we can be undefeated in all sports?
Yes. However, it'll get confusing, like the fact that there's 20 different Rogers centers in Canada, and we should probably keep at least a couple of them with different names. Like maybe Subaru Park, Subaru Center, Subaru Garden, Subaru Fields. We can make it work.
Roy Rogers is that big in Canada?
Man, I went to a Roy Rogers off the Jersey Turnpike not too long
only
ago, and I'm curious to see what is keeping this particular brand going. Like, why did this not change into a Shake Shack or something by now? Like, who in corporate? Like, what is the Roy Rogers corporate now? Is it just like a
Before
kiosk?
COVID, they had the Fixings Bar, which was key. Now with COVID, you can't have the Fixings Bar.
The Fixins Bar was key because you made that
Yeah.
bland ass bacon cheeseburger sing with all the lettuce and tomato you could put on that thing. But
So
again,
COVID will probably kill Roy Rogers. Damn it. And Trigger.
I mean that look, the COVID killed a lot of businesses that I enjoyed, and some of them needed to die. And this is how Roy Rogers did. He was on life support for 35 bleeping years off of I-95.
All right. So we gave our thoughts on us whooping up on Bruce, which is great. Now we've got the I'm going to call them the Canadian energy drinks coming in. Well,
Why?
we go to their town.
Yes. Why? I was wondering why you called them that. I was like, is Impact an energy drink somewhere that I just missed on? What happened? Who owns them?
They're playing in Red Bull Arena.
Oh, I get it now.
I
Never
don't get
mind.
it,
I'm
but the
stupid.
slumlords of Harrison have got another tenant, and we have to go back up to the bedpan and take on Thierry Henry and the
So-
Montreal Impact.
Quick question, because this is really important to me. How did Toronto score Hartford?
Did they score?
Yeah, no, you get your own facility in a city that has an airport right there, so it's not even like it's that hard to travel to and fro from. And on top of that, you're the
I
only
think they have
team.
to stay there. They have to stay
Look,
there, though.
man,
They
I
can't go
went
back
to-
and forth to Canada.
I know, but I went to no. I'm saying when they have to travel to other venues, it's not like they have to travel far from where their stadium is. Like Bradley Airport is literally like 5 miles outside of the city, so it's something that's very convenient for what they're trying
They're
to
probably
do
gonna
in a
bust
faux
their
bubble.
asses anyhow.
Also,
I don't think
Connecticut-
that's a win. I don't think Hartford's a win.
Also, Connecticut is like number 2 in best states to handle the COVID crisis. So it's like, I'm just saying. Look, you don't have to share. That's like 94% of it for me is like you get your own digs for that no one's using. Like literally no one is using
But
this arena.
are they in a real? I mean, what's their locker room like? Sky Blue last year at Rutgers. Like, what's the facilities?
It is a former football stadium.
For who? The University of Connecticut.
UConn.
Double A.
UConn.
So that's not even a real football team.
No, but
They do not win.
one. They don't lose to the team that has to share with Red Bull. That like what? And also, what happened to Vancouver? Where are they? Where did they go? Where are they hanging out?
They are playing outside of Portland somewhere, I think.
They're
did
just
know
in
this.
Tacoma.
They're somewhere. They're at like a Hartford kind of thing.
Are they playing at the Seattle Reign Stadium?
No.
Or God, they're not even a team anymore. What are they? OL Reign now? Whatever. Anyway.
So now, how are we feeling about this game? Because Montreal's a little.
Look, man, I think the Union should win everything forever, at least for this season. I mean, look, and that's not even that's a half joke. I think that if the Union play their version of soccer, God, I hate cliches so much, but like they
cliches work, buddy.
Their back line is great, and it has rotation capabilities. So it's like whomever you're plugging in back there is succeeding and is working out well.
Can I just plug this real quick, and we'll talk about this because I looked up where Vancouver's playing.
Where are they at?
They do not have a home. All 3 of their games are on the road. They're playing at Real Salt Lake, at LAFC, and at Portland. So
well, then they got to have 3 home games at some point, so they're probably going to have. I read something
that's actually not that bad.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not that bad. It's a 3-game road trip.
All right, back to Montreal. Montreal's so, but for me, we're stretching the depth, man. We might be digging to the Ute. We might be Jack. We might be some other people in this thing. So
DeVries got some minutes. I mean, look, the homegrowns be playing and they be succeeding. So I don't.
I say it's a win. Now, Devin, you're always negative. How bad are they going to lose to Montreal? I mean, you're the president of the Terry Henry club, you know.
Terry Henry. All right, let's blow past that. And
the French hate us.
Listen, here's my thing. If they don't come out of these 3 games with at least like 7 points, it's going to be a disappointment. So, I mean, you're playing 3. Bottom half of the MLS teams, I'd say. So
the thing that really strikes me about this is the fact that they're doing this like their phases, and they're like, all right, so we put you in a round robin cup basically with all of your local affiliates, like all the teams that are basically near you, except NYCFC for reasons I'm still a little confused by, but whatever, ain't gonna think too hard about it.
Yeah, we got Miami instead of them. Like
that's weird to me that the Union literally played every other cliche team that you think we would play in our region, but like the team that was roughly as close, because it's not even like a thing where you couldn't have just brought them to Chester. It's not even like we had to go to New York for any particular reason. You could have brought them to Chester. That would have been fine. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, you should win. I mean, 9 points ain't unheard of here. If you walk away with all the points here, that's not crazy. Because as much as I do, and like Thierry Henry is one of my favorite players of all time, and he's not on the pitch. He's going to be coaching. And recently, Montreal has had. I mean, again, they've only been playing their neighbors, but it's with the impact with me this year. They don't really look but so great. When they were playing the American teams, they didn't look really solid. They got a win against DC, but who's not beating DC these days? So it's like, I think the Union should beat Montreal. I'll look ahead. I think the Union should beat FC Cincinnati, and because I don't believe Higuain will be ready, I believe you should also be able to beat Miami at home.
Even if he's ready, does he make an impact? Does he gelled with everybody? Now, speaking of, your boy Jim is feeling positive about playing Montreal. Did you know that, Adam?
Jim is a very soft-spoken person 98% of the time, but like this season, he's just become such a cocky man. I love it.
Yeah, he just goes, I hope old Terror saves some of his money from his playing days because I'm not sure if the Canadian government has a very good unemployment program. So I think Jim's predicting, old Terror Henry might be in the Bread Bowl line in Montreal after this game.
I think he can just go back to modeling.
David Beckham took all his work. David Beckham took all that modeling work from him.
No, it's okay. Thierry Henry is just like if Calvin needs another African French specimen, he's like, I'm here for you.
All right, so
French African.
French African, yeah.
Just to put a second half on the Vancouver saga because it gets a little better.
It gets tastier.
They're playing in their home stadium at Portland. Portland is their home stadium. They play Portland, but it is a Vancouver home game in the Portland Stadium.
Oh, wow.
That's literally rude. That's actually rude. And
now, it's rude if there's fans. If at this point they let fans in, that's rude.
That's rude. That's rude.
Yeah.
That's actually rude, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. If I'm Toronto, I'm like, even if we're allowed to have 100% capacity, we say no fans. There's no fans. Yeah, there's no
fans.
way.
We the Canadian delegation says nay on the fan thing. Here's the thing. I feel bad for the Canada teams because they are legitimately like they're locked out of their house. Like their prime minister said, "All right, you can go, but you can't." They went on Rumspringa. They went on Rumspringa where the family said, "You got a couple of months to figure your crap out, but you can't come back in the house. You can't come back here and contaminate us with all that English. So like no, they are legitimately nomadic teams right now, and I feel bad for that. And I want to say that this messes with competitive integrity, but no one wants to talk about that either. So I guess whatever. I'll be over here.
Yeah. And the last week, we got a Sunday game against the David Beckhams, which we can talk about next week. Not a big deal, but that's our next home game. We've got 2 away and then home, which means when they do MLS's back version, this is 3. This will be version 4. We should have 2 home games.
So what's the end game again?
A total of 18 games because we played 6. It's supposed to be 6, 6, and 6.
And then
from there, seeding and playoffs.
And are they going to go back into a bubble for that?
They should.
Did you hear baseball is now thinking about a playoff bubble?
They're thinking, but did they not say Texas and California?
Yeah, I feel like this is just a slam.
It's not one of the states I'm doing a bubble is.
Well, are you going to do it in Florida?
No, but
How about Arizona?
I'll do it at Arizona's COVID. I'll do it in Toronto. They got a dome.
But you can't. But how many how many fields you got? Like the thing that made
what do you
this.
need? They don't tear up the field that much. Just play like
no, but
they
baseball
got baseball tournaments.
It takes 3 hours though to get that shit done.
They could play at a little league field. They don't have to play at a major league stadium.
First off, you talk about tell the Toronto Blue Jays that how much they're enjoying their time in Buffalo.
Yeah. Just I mean, they could be playing in minor league parks as long as the dimensions are good. I don't know. Well, thank God we're not a baseball pod.
That's look, man. That's gonna be look. I'd be happy to see if Disney is like, yeah, come back for
Why
like the
not,
MLS.
Man? They ain't got nobody else coming back there.
Did they not open the park? Is Disney not open?
No, they're
so
open.
Then
but
so they don't need MLS.
Well, the LeBron's got the biggest suite at the Grand Floridian, for God's sake. So it's not like.
But all right. So hypothetically, though, and I'm not trying to even digress. I know I'm going deep into it, but just like the NBA is going to be out of there in a month, maybe like a month, because you just started the Eastern Conference. You got a month. You're going to let the MLS back in?
You don't think Disney would want guaranteed business in October, November? Especially those sports fields are not going to be used for anything.
But is that a bubble then?
Why wouldn't it be a bubble?
Because people are there. Like,
well,
like
they can
are
still
they
close off.
Are they going to? Are they going to
People were
completely
there at the end.
disinfect those slots?
No,
Yeah,
but
I
people
know.
were
But
there
like,
at the end, so the bubble would be you're in a hotel in a wing, that kind of thing, and you're bubbled. I mean, people are there now with the NBA, like, and the NBA is
yeah.
allowing them to have guests. So I'm
just
sure you
hoping
can do a
that like
bubble.
I'm just hoping their bubble was like frozen in carbonite. Like they just let the was it the dolphin? They just kept it
No.
all just perfectly preserved. Anyway, continue, Devin, before you cattle prod me.
Well, I think Devin, we just got to talk about over the pond, right? A real quick dive
Let's do
into what's going on over there, and then we're pretty much wrapping it up. Is that true?
I'm not letting you close this episode without talking about All or Nothing because Adam still has not done his homework. First of
So-
all,
Oh, you think I
Adam?
won't watch that? That's cute.
The Premier League is back, buddy. It is back.
I just downloaded Warzone. They had a new patch that came out, so I think I'm gonna be good for a while. In terms of
Well, did you
entertainment.
hear Liverpool's manager had to take some shots at our beloved Chelsea and then the despots of Man City?
This is so petty.
I know.
Like
And he
I'm
goes,
a little disappointed.
some clubs are
in
owned by
Jurgen.
countries and obligarchs. I don't know what an obligarch is, but apparently he's talking about
The man is
can't even keep
speaking in his
straight.
like fourth language. Like English is not even remotely his first language. Let him be. He's thinking of he almost tried to say oligarchies in a thick German accent. I appreciate
I thought
that.
he was talking about Olive Garden. I'm like, man, I'd go for some of those crappy breadsticks.
You know what?
But,
They closed the one in Center City. I'm really happy about that. We need more authentic Italian food in this city. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
So Jurgen was angry, and good old Lamps had a great response. He goes, "Yeah, they spent a lot of money over the years. That's why they won the title." So,
Like where the hell? Like how do you think you got a Firmino or a Virgil van Dijk? Like did you think
Yeah.
he just came out of left field? Like you just grew that man? Like that man's a homegrown right there? No, but like, and here's the thing: he's not wrong because Liverpool can't outspend the other teams, and they can't
they're owned by the Red
outspend
Sox.
them.
They're printing money.
The Red Sox can't outspend. Like here's the fun thing. There's like two owners in American sports that could really compete with these guys over there in the Premier League, and one of them Steve Ballmer, and the other one might be Jerry Jones, and that's about it. There's like really none of these other owners that could really, on a financial tip, really compete. Man,
Well, how do the
ima-
jackasses from Tampa do that with Manchester United all the time?
because Manchester United has like the second largest following behind like Madrid and Barcelona, so it's just like they print money. But it's just like another another one of these clubs. Like, how does Atletico Madrid do that kind of shit? Like, imagine if we put transfer money on NBA players. Like, what's LeBron's market value? 60 million, 70
He's 36
million.
years old. I say about $7.
Man, I'm gonna fight you. All right, so like, all right, what? And I hate this.
Now-
Jason Tatum. He's like 100 million on the open market right now in the basketball transfer market.
Now, speaking of Liverpool, though, did you catch that Leeds game? And Adam, the whole
Yes.
time,
Yeah.
were you singing AC/DC the whole time Leeds touched the ball? Because that's all I was singing.
You got a
Dirty
lot of,
Leeds.
You was man. Devin.
Dirty Leeds. Come on, that's all you
Devin.
got to sing the whole time.
all right, somebody's got to transition that
Devin,
off of this.
my God, that is the oldest thing this pod has done in a really long time.
Well, it's been that long since Leeds has been in the Premier League.
That
so
is a fair
AC/DC
statement.
was top of the charts for God's sakes. I mean,
What was
they
it?
need to be in a Geico commercial.
I love it because isn't this like the time like Fulham's back, Leeds is back, like all these teams that haven't been back since like millennia are just like, yeah.
I'm waiting for wear the baggy jerseys that they did in the early 2000s. You know,
Look, man, I'm happy Leeds put a 3 spot up in Anfield, only because that's just hilarious. It's just
they did
like
not back down, man. They did not come in and
No.
go.
That was a
oh, we're happy
that
to
was
be
a
here.
fantastic game.
also most
Yeah,
out. Look, if you get a
fantastic.
hat trick and 2 of them are penalties, that's not real. I'm here for that. If
Yeah,
you
that's an
get a
asterisk.
hat trick, if you get a hat trick and 2 of them are penalties, that's not real. One of them can be a penalty. Hopefully, it's not the third one. I
Yeah.
hate when the third one's like when a person gets a hat trick on a penalty. I think that's stupid because it's
That's like a visor. That's not a hat trick. It's a visor. It's a Steve Spurrier.
It is
visor.
a visor. It is
It's a
it is a
visor.
Doug Peterson is what that is. That's what it
and
is.
while we're on the Premier League, can we give the Ass Hat of the Week award to NBC for? I know it's been hashed out enough by now, but the whole Peacock thing. 8 of the 10 Premier League games this weekend are on Peacock, and it is the stupidest thing. Just put them on the goddamn TV.
Hey, I've got Peacock for free. I don't know what you're bitching about, man. Just learn to work the system, man. Come on. They're trying to grow a brand.
We all tried to cut the cord from cable. And this is the price we all had to pay. And now everyone's mad that their little future. They thought they were only going to have to pay $12 for their cable. They thought all they had to do was get Hulu and Netflix, and they never need their cable again.
Here's what pisses me off the most. There's no. I have a Samsung Smart TV.
Yes, sir.
It has all the apps on it
Yes,
you
sir.
can ask for, but they don't have a Peacock app.
No, you have
So
to.
I
You
couldn't
have
watch it on the
Xfinity
TV.
cable?
Yes, so I get Peacock for free.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Yes.
even complaining about that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't watch it on my TV
Why not?
because it's a smart TV.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a
Ain't
cable
that
box
smart?
up here.
Ah,
so
get a Fire
tried
Stick,
to
buddy.
Cut.
But if you're
The
going to put it on
cable.
Peacock, at least make it available on.
tried.
Samsung's a pretty large, TV distributor.
Yeah, but you
Listen,
got
the-
it.
Should have
the
it on
only
there.
thing I
no
was mad
licensing
about-
agreements.
Adam and I were supposed to meet up in the city to have a beer to watch Chelsea,
Yes.
and the bar couldn't figure out. They couldn't get Peacock. I go, you got Xfinity, what? And they couldn't. So I walked back home and caught the rest of the game at the house. So I think the bars. Now, luckily it's COVID. Not luckily, but it's COVID, so bars aren't having viewing parties. But bars are gonna have to figure that out real quick because if
Oh
they,
no, dude! The Black Taxi had a viewing party for Leeds. You didn't think?
Really?
Yeah, you didn't think those guys were gonna make this thing go to waste. I mean, obviously they did it outside on their like little parking space kiosk area, but like, yeah, they had a party there. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the hell Founding Fathers is trying to do soon now that they can let
there's-
people in. So
there's two things in the world that doesn't scream cleanliness to me: Black Taxi and Leeds fans.
man,
And Black
Jason's
Taxi is
gonna-
right up the road for me, so I can
Shout out to my boy Jay Rich up at representing row P136, who is a Leeds fan, because the few, the proud, the Marines there, because I literally don't know anyone else who's a Leeds fan on this
No,
planet Earth.
I know
So,
one guy
shout
in
out to
England,
him.
and I think he died.
Oh, damn.
Now,
That was
now
dark.
speaking of exciting games, Adam, did you see our friend Raj Bennett, our friend Johnny Zaps, Julian Brown, their home squad, the one they bleed for, the mighty Everton, just took it to the Hotspurs.
So, like, when you grow up, like, a fan of sports, like, you're stuck with, like, the teams that, like, either your dad liked or, like, you liked because of you're from that city or whatever, that makes sense. People who chose to be Everton fans, I got questions. Did you just like pain? Did you just like to be upset? Did you just
They're
want-
probably
you just want
Philadelphia fans
frustration?
that they're used to it.
They're just used to it. So like, it's a possibility. Like, here's the thing. I know being a Chelsea fan makes you seem like a bandwagoner. I was really just a Didier Drogba fan, and by proxy became a Chelsea fan. But I will say this: Tottenham sucks, bro. And like, I really hope Gareth Bale comes in and helps them. But like, my God, that is a
What are you talking about? They
lifeless
just signed
club.
Alex Morgan.
That oh
Alex
my God,
Morgan's
that-
going to jump on for
the
them.
biggest signing in club fucking history, Alex Morgan. Are you kidding me right now? That is
Come
the
on.
biggest signing in
Oh,
Tottenham
man.
Hotspur. God damn. A two-time World Cup winner? My God, when has Tottenham ever seen this level of talent and prolificness in their franchise's history? She's going to outscore Harry Kane. We all know this, right? Like, that's
They gave
obviously
her all
a
the
dub.
billboards too, Piccadilly, everything. They had the billboards of
Look,
her.
What's wrong? Here's the thing. I'm mad at Chelsea women. Are Chelsea women just
Oh, I know.
allergic to Americans? What's up? How is Man U going to get both my daughter, Kristen Press, and Tobin Heath? I'm over here like, Chelsea women, can we just stop? I know you always had like Korea and the actual continent of England, but like, come on, man. Go get Sam Hughes, go get Julie Ertz, somebody.
All right. So
All right,
I'm not going to let you get away with that Tottenham talk, first of all.
Get in here. Get in here and feel sad, Devin. Get in here to
You
feel
want to see how
sad.
long I could stay quiet about that there. But
Get in here and feel sad.
no. Tottenham are not shitty. They just had a bad start. Jose Mourinho is going to be turning things around this season. They're gonna
Wow,
make
what a
Champions
difference
League this
from
season.
6 months ago.
That's all. All it takes is one all or nothing series, and it's got me all turned
Amazon has
around here.
brainwashed your ass.
And
Damn it.
and by the way, The Liverpool Leeds game. I'm going back to this because
Please.
it's got me all pissed off. The Liverpool Leeds game had the most viewers for a single Premier League game out of any game last season.
Yeah.
And because it was on NBCSN.
It's also
And
a
you want to tell me
pandemic.
putting these games on the app is getting them any more viewers than that? I think not. Okay.
No,
Put
they're
my-
using it
put
to
my Premier
grow
League
the
on the
app.
TV.
They
It's
know there's
making
a
people
captive
buy
loyal
the app.
audience. Yeah, I mean,
As
they're-
soon as the games are not on the app anymore, I'm deleting the app and I'm canceling any subscriptions.
No,
It's-
sweetie.
it's-
They're never leaving the app. That's the point.
they got a Premier League 24/7 channel on the app, man. You're gonna be in on
Look,
that app,
man.
I'm telling you.
Look. They put Chelsea Brighton on there, and Chelsea's like a title contender. They could easily put that game on NBCSN. They had NASCAR on.
Now, let's talk Chelsea.
Oh, please, yes.
Then we'll get into Devin's subject, and we can wrap
Oh
it
my
up.
God! Can we talk about Chelsea though? Like I'm underwhelmed and still tingling.
So that was 3-1.
Yeah.
And my only question and I'll let Devin go.
How did we let them
and
score
then of course
on us?
Adam, is that going to be the closest match we have all year once Captain America comes back?
And we get a real goalie.
Oh, that's on the way. I
Oh
was
my God!
I was
know.
messaging
Oh
my
my
buddy in
God,
London the
I
whole
know.
time. He
We're actually
goes,
gonna get rid of
"He's
Kepa."
on the way."
Oh my God! We're getting rid of Kepa.
and the center backs are coming. They weren't
Oh,
ready.
oh,
That was last year's defense. That wasn't this year's defense.
Look,
Oh,
man,
Devin, you
I
want
am
to switch?
genuinely worried.
I don't even
You wanna
know.
switch?
Genuinely worried about Chelsea.
I don't even know. I don't even know what this feeling is like. Is this like what Golden State Warriors fans felt like when they got DeMarcus Cousins? Like what was like when you're like I
Like
don't.
when Kevin Durant signed.
Yes, you're just like you're just like yeah. We also got Kevin Durant. Like what? Oh my God! First off, that's a 3-1 game with a team that has not even remotely thought about gelling. Like that's a 3-1 victory by a team that is just like I don't even know who the guy I just got passed to is, but I put it in from him. Like Warner just sitting there just like I can do this. I could do Premier League. What's Premier League? I could do Premier League. Reece James got a goal. Are you kidding me with this? Like first off, all the Chelsea kids, I feel bad for because none of them are going to see the light of day. They're all going to get sold to the farthest corners of the universe for $20 million apiece. And Mason Mount will be kept because he's an English national and he's going to be the only person who wears an England shirt for Chelsea for the next 20
The best
years.
player
So-
for Brighton was a former Chelsea academy kid. They're right back. I was like,
That's
can
what-
we get him back when they get relegated?
Look, Jurgen is mad, and I would be too, because Jurgen is going up to the New Balance Red Sox people and being like, "Yo, what can I?" And they'd be like, "We got 350. We already bought you an entire squad and a title. We got about 350 left. That's it." And Chelsea was like, "So all we did was hoard money during the time you told us we couldn't spend money, and then we spent all of it, and we still gotta have some more."
That was a $250 million vodka infused drunken spending spree that is just making me so effing happy.
Were these players bought on Amazon?
No, he was
Is that
he was
how this is
sitting
working?
in his underwear with a PlayStation controller and a fifth of Jack. That was how all of this happened. It was a late Saturday night. It was 2 in the morning. He had a white tank top on. There was a stain right in the corner of it.
He's on
And
his
he
yacht.
Said, yes, and he just said, "Screw it. I want all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. All of them."
During COVID, I might, have a beer or two too many, sit on my laptop and buy some shoes from Amazon. Where this guy is like, $250 million, no problem. Let's
Legit,
give me all the German players.
But just think about this. Like, imagine having a team that somehow, even through the fact that you played a bunch of children and a couple of old people past their prime and Willen who didn't even want to be there, and you got them to 4th. I feel 3rd, but we'll count it as 4th because that's how it
By the way,
ended. But
William
I get it.
might be the best player on Arsenal.
First off, that's annoying as a Chelsea fan. Like, what the
know.
bleep? Like, you were
But they
just.
still
you
have
were just-
David Luiz, so that'll
you-
counterbalance.
that is always the counterbalance. But like, you just had this in you. You just had 3 assists in you, Willen. Is that what you were doing? Just servicing? All right. But legitimately, like, Chelsea was like, what are our issues? We don't have like our number 1 striker is Olivier Giroud. Let's get 3 of them. Just get 3 of these bleepers. All of them. We'll get the best guy from Ajax. We'll get Hervatz. We'll get freaking the best scorer in all of Bundesliga. And then they were like, all right, well, we got some midfield problems. Go get Thiago Silva. Just for shits and bleeping gigs, go get him. And then they're like, we got some problems in the back line. And we're just like, fleece everyone's young people center backs and also get Chilwell from freaking Leicestershire because we just take everything they ever make now.
Now, Adam, we don't want to end this pod on us being braggadocious. It's it's bad enough that the Union are playing
Why the
well
hell
and we're
not?
bragging.
Yeah,
it's bad enough, Chelsea is being Chelsea and we are nothing but pride. Let's get this to a level playing field and talk about Amazon's Tottenham Hotspurs All or Nothing. Part 2 and Part 3 are out now. Now, Devin, we talked about this. I did my homework. I watched every episode. One episode I fell asleep in, so I rewatched it. But anyhow, here's my only question for you. During episode, was it the last or second to last? Was that Chelsea's Timo scoring on you in the Champions League?
How did I know that was going to come up? Yes.
Because
Yes,
it's
it
in the
was.
notes.
No, yeah, I did see that, and it is very ironic now. Honestly, that ending was probably like episode 7 and episode 9 were probably one of my favorite episodes because I loved the behind the scenes. I loved being able to see behind when Hugo Lloris and Son got into it on the pitch that day and seeing them in the lock, seeing all that play out. And who else was arguing?
We talked about it on the pod. And I go, what is wrong with Hugo? Why is he going after this guy?
And now you see it. Now you see why. It's literally all Jose Mourinho. And he loves that. And then you see Dele Alli and Eric Dyer going at it in the locker room too. It was a different game. Them two going at it, going back and forth, and Jose's just, I love it. I love it. Oh, yeah. That's all he's saying. It's like, oh my god.
Now I'm going to challenge all of our listeners because I wish I did this beforehand. Here's the drinking game. You watch this episode 1 through 9. Anytime Jose says the F word, you need to drink. You might black out before one episode's over, but you need to do that. That's the challenge.
I just wish you curse more in Portuguese. I think we're just missing out on that cultural experience. If they could just translate it for me, but if it would just use cursing in Portuguese.
I think the F word is just universal for him.
It feels lazy, but I understand it. Ultimately, here, man, look, I'm happy that Tottenham Hotspur is going to have something to be proud of, which is going to be an Amazon series, because everything else in their life is going to be terrible unless they're a fan of the women's side, because they are god awful.
Now we
did
talk
to find
briefly,
a goalkeeper.
We've done a little dreaming where we said, hey, eventually we want to go to England because we want to interview the future captain of the Union, Mr. Pulisic at Chelsea. And because Devin's a fan, we might have to take a game at Tottenham. But Devin, are you in on that frickin' skywalk thing on top of the stadium that they did at the end? I'm in on that, man.
It was. I was listening to a different podcast. It was like, what if the whole documentary? Because that skywalk, any fan can purchase.
It's like the Las Vegas of stadiums, Adam. They've got a skywalk that you can clip into and walk along the rafters above the stadium.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be very thankful for that addition to the stadium.
Well, they've got their own locker room during COVID.
The Jacksonville Jaguars home stadium is very nice, and I'm happy that they're allowing Tottenham to play in it.
So Devin, when we go to England to do the pod, are you walking with me on the catwalk of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Of course.
Right.
Does Tottenham Hotspur pay money to Shad Khan? That's all I'm just saying. Can we just call them Jacksonville Jaguar FC? Can we just go full the whole 9 with people? No, I would definitely see that catwalk. I thought it was. I've seen it without seeing the documentary. I think that's kind of cool. I'm here for it. I make fun of Tottenham all the time. They're actually a pretty solid club. I think they're going to actually have a pretty solid season only because I think they have still the tools that are making them a good enough squad. But, man, I think Jose's not the man for this squad. I really don't think that's what's happening here.
If
I think he
gets
fired
bail,
Punch too
you
early.
don't think if he gets bail, you don't think that's the piece he's missing?
What
'Cause I'm a
is
little
Garrett?
afraid.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
What is
because he
Gareth
brought in
Bale's motivation to play soccer? What is
Golf.
Gareth Bale's motivation to play soccer?
Golf is
But
his
he didn't
motivation.
even have to play soccer, and he played a lot of golf. Why am I still singing
The
that?
the
Seriously, what is his motivation?
here's what I found out today.
Yes.
Tottenham's training center has a putting green in the front of the
He
training
won't
center.
even practice.
I mean,
You brought
Bale
him to
makes,
practice. He won't even practice.
Here's the thing: he makes €600,000 a week.
Yeah.
If that's not enough motivation for you,
He's won Champions League how many times? He's never going to go to the World Cup because he represents bleeping
hey,
Wales.
what was
So, like, what's
Jose's
his
motivation for going to Tottenham? He wants to take a shit team and make them great.
Because
Maybe
he has
Gareth
no.
wants to do that.
Gareth Bale has no ego, and I love it. Gareth Bale is just like, screw you guys. I'm just going to be the greatest sub of all time. Because like when Real Madrid won to Champions League or won La Liga, and Gareth Bale's just arms crossed to the back, like not even scowling, just kind of like, that's cool. Like they did that. I didn't really do much about it, but they did that. It's like I think Gareth Bale coming back to England is just like, yeah, let me play some more golf. And like I mean that in the nicest way, because I think he's a great player. I just don't know what his motivation to be a great player is right now.
All right. Well, on that note, gents, episode Robin Roberts, not from Good Morning America, but Philadelphia Phillies, is in the books. We might have a little co-pod this week coming up, but we will let you know. Until then, Sunday night, Pandemic Crew, Sunday
Hold
night
on.
game. What?
Hold on.
Wait a second.
What?
Hold on.
What?
Hold it.
What?
Hit it, Adam.
Everybody, it's good to see you. Because you know what's happening? The Fusion Minute! Guys, we're going to Korea. Yes, the Philadelphia Fusion are going to Korea. Matt, you were actually kind of curious about how they're going to handle this, and they're going to quarantine for 2 weeks before gameplay starts. So they are leaving almost immediately to go to Korea. They will quarantine for 2 weeks, and then they will be playing against the best in the world. So the Philadelphia...
And Adam, why are they
Unnecessary
doing this?
procedure. Those guys have been quarantined their entire life in their mom's basement.
That's fair. But also, they have to get on a big jet plane, so they're not going to be quarantined on that unless they get private jets.
They
And
don't
you know that-
fly private? What
So-
the hell?
Soon, my child, because you know how much money the MVP of the Overwatch League won this year? $100,000 for just getting MVP. Salaries are exploding. These guys are making that real money. Now, anyway.
Gareth Bale makes that on a Monday.
Yeah, I know, but we'll get there. Fleda's kids will be making Gareth Bale money. Just you wait. Now, what's real about this is that the Philadelphia Fusion they were the 1 seed in North America, and they did lose in the winners bracket final to the San Francisco Shock, a team that has been a nemesis of theirs. They beat them last time out. Then they lost 3-1 this time out. And San Francisco also going to Korea. So North America and the Apex region have 2 representatives, the 2 best teams of their bracket winning. And on Sunday afternoon, after the Philadelphia Fusion were knocked down to the losers bracket, they took on what was only one of the best Cinderella stories in esports history, the Washington Justice. A 12 seed team, a team that had no business even being in the playoffs, and in another time and another year wouldn't even be in the playoff format, came all the way back and almost took their trip, booked it all the way over to the peninsula in the Great Far East. But the Fusion took them down 3-0 like it was nothing. And now we're here in the finals. San Francisco Shock, Philadelphia Fusion representing North America, and they will be going up against the Shanghai Dragons and the Seoul Dynasty from the Apex region. It's going to be a barn burner. Carpe coming out here in maps 2 and 3 to take down the Justice after being put on the bench for Hizu and Ivy for most of the season, showing why he was still an MVP candidate to the very end. Alarm, who I can almost say is a shoo-in for Rookie of the Year. Funny Astro coming in and also putting in some Lucio action that basically made me tingle. Look. On September 12th, on October 12th, we are going to have Union Finals action. I cannot wait. Fusion are up here for an actual title, and I think this is the one. And if this is the one, it's the one you wanted to win all along. I'm super hyped. I'm sorry, Devin. I took up the whole time, and I'm super hyped.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for episode Robin Roberts, Brian Westbrook, and 1 day of Bobby Clarke's life. Guys, we should have a good episode next week when we start taking on that Skyline Chili team. Maybe a return of one Michael Lahoud. We don't know yet, but we're working on it. And until then,
Good tease.
wash your hands.
Sexy season.